Things you don't know about Israel's air defense systems. Israel has sustained attacks from enemies on all sides throughout its nearly 76-year history and has invested heavily in high-tech air defense systems that have become the envy of the world's military. Here are fascinating facts about these systems. Israel's air defense system has 3 to 4 layers, each designed to tackle threats from different distances. The Iron Dome, introduced in 2011, intercepts short-range rockets and drones, 4 kilometers to 70 kilometers, and is largely used to tackle unguided rockets launched from Gaza and Lebanon. David Sling, operational since 2017, directly targets large-caliber rockets and short-range ballistic missiles from a range of 70 kilometers to 300 kilometers. Arrow 2, in use since 2017, targets long-range ballistic missiles, 300 to 500 kilometers, and Arrow 3 targets intercontinental ballistic missiles, the big daddy of all missiles, which fly above the Earth's atmosphere and are designed primarily to deliver nuclear weapons. The Iron Dome uses radar to detect and track rockets and determine if they're likely to strike populated areas. If so, it fires an interceptor missile that explodes near the rocket without actually striking it and knocks it out of the sky. The Iron Dome was designed by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems and Israel Aerospace Industries, with U.S. support, in just 2.5 years after the 2006 conflict with Hezbollah, and is credited with saving countless lives. Designed to detect, identify, track, and shoot down short-range ballistic rockets, Iron Dome was expected to achieve an 85% success rate. Instead, statistically, it's more than 95% successful. Brig General Daniel Gold won the Israel Defense Prize in 2012 for spearheading the Iron Dome project, which has won global acclaim. People thought he was absolutely crazy to push forward the development process. It was like running 15 serious startup companies at the same time, all of which have to work in harmony with one another and be successful in record time. David Sling, originally known as Magic Wand, is named after the weapon used by the biblical shepherd to slay the giant Goliath. It was jointly developed and manufactured by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems in Israel and Raytheon in the U.S. Israel's defense ministry signed a deal last November to sell David Sling to Finland for $344 million, though it has so far declined requests to supply the system to Ukraine. Arrow 2 was used to down a ballistic missile for the first time in the weeks following the October 7th attack. The missile was fired at the Red Sea by the Houthis in Yemen. Israel built on the success of Arrow 2 by developing Arrow 3, designed to intercept so-called exo-atmospheric threats, ballistic missiles that fly 1,200 kilometers above the Earth's atmosphere in suborbital space. Israel is one of just 5 countries capable of intercepting such missiles. Arrow 3 uses hit-to-kill technology to knock out the missiles before they re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. Israel has finalized an agreement to sell the Arrow 3 air defense system to Germany in a deal valued at $3.6 billion. It is now working on Arrow 4, which will have enhanced capabilities. Israel is also developing Iron Beam, a game-changing new system to intercept incoming threats using high-powered lasers instead of missiles. The only operating costs are the electricity it uses. Although it's still being developed, Iron Beam has been used in trials on the Gaza front in recent months. Israel has 39 state-of-the-art single-seat F-35 stealth fighter jets, which can fly at Mach 1.6 or 1,910 kilometers per hour, and are virtually invisible to enemy defenses. The U.S.-made planes, which cost around $100 million each, have been described as a computer that happens to fly because of its situational awareness. Some F-35 models can take off and land vertically. Israel's air defense system is extremely expensive, but the alternative, not having one, would be even more costly. Establishing such a defense system, its development and production cost money, said Moshe Patel, director of the Israel Missile Defense Organization, IMDO. He said, however, we are in war, and in war first and foremost we save people, protect strategic installations, and prevent the economy from coming to a stop, the declines in the stock market and the enormous damage to property. Iran's attack. In response to the killing of Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps commander Mohammad Reza Zahidi and his deputy Mohammad Hadi Hadriahimi in Damascus 2 weeks earlier, was coordinated so that drones and missiles with different flying times would all strike together at 2 a.m. on April 14th. Iran launched 170 UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles or drones, which take 7 hours to reach Israel, 120 cruise missiles, flying time 2 to 3 hours, and 100 long-range ballistic missiles, which take just 12 minutes, flying above the Earth's atmosphere at a speed of around 7,500 kilometers per hour. Around 99% of all Iran's missiles and drones were down before they entered Israeli airspace in an operation codenamed Iron Shield. The Nevatim Air Base, home to Israel's elite F-35 fighter jets and believed to be a primary target, suffered slight damage. There were no fatalities, although a 7-year-old Israeli Bedouin girl was seriously injured. Reports suggest at least a quarter, and as many as a half of Iran's missiles failed. Israel shot down missiles and drones with a combined payload of 60 tons of TNT explosives in an operation that cost an estimated $1 billion to $1.3 billion. Each Iron Dome missile costs approximately $50,000. David's Sling costs $1 million, and each Arrow 2 or Arrow 3 missile is reckoned to cost up to $2.5 million. An Israel Air Force Reserve pilot said downing Iran's drones and missiles on April 14th was like Top Gun meets Star Wars. The unnamed officer said it was the most complex mission he'd flown in 20 years of service. It really was a different thing with hundreds of those UAVs and missiles in the air getting intercepted around you. Endless explosions and interceptions going on around you, he said. It was a very aggressive attack coordinated by Iran, one which maybe we haven't seen in modern warfare, but you're seeing absolute defense in action. Iran's attack, called Operation True Promise, was the first on Israel by a nation-state since January 1991, when Iraq fired some 40 Scud missiles, mostly at Tel Aviv and Haifa. Iraq, Syria, and Yemen, where Tehran has allied militias, also took part in the attack. Iran is widely regarded as a superpower in tactical ballistic missiles and UAVs, but its air force is weak and poorly maintained, and its air defenses consist of largely outdated systems from Russia.